Good morning, folks. It's 5:30. Wow. Um, this morning is going by fast. 5:30 a.m. 7:15. Um, I figured it's about time. I've told a lot of you individually. I've mentioned things here and there, but I want to put together for you right now, in one little video, how your brain works as far as your metaphysical abilities. Okay, we know Uncle Jenny ain't no brain surgeon. Okay, as far as an MD, but it stands to reason that because I can go into your brain and do what no one else can, and I actually see your brain when I'm in there, um, and I watch everything firing up, and I actually manipulate it, and it makes these things happen. Yeah, that puts me on the top step of the ladder when it comes to understanding the brain and its metaphysical abilities that it produces. And actually, the brain, the body, is a mechanism that makes things happen, but your spirit is what really gets in there and gets things flowing. Um, can't have one without the other. You want to make something to eat, you got to have a skillet and then a spoon. Um, anyway, so much for this morning's analogies. As you can tell, it's early in the morning. I got up at 4:14. I wanted to hurry up and get things going. I do that a lot, so I can get something done in the book. There is something I want to tell you about. Break this away from one of my little unicorn buddies. Um, this is Chowa. CHO-WA. Okay, good stuff. It's very expensive. It's a tea. It's chi tea. Okay, they call it tiger chi. Tiger chi tea. It literally helps your body come together. It literally helps your core energy flow. Okay, it puts your body in a state it needs to be in and feeds it what it needs to. There's mushrooms, all kinds of stuff in that. Okay, it's expensive, but it's awesome. Okay, and it flows in and out, and it helps the core energy flow. I have it. I mix it with my coffee every morning. I have 2 packages with 1 cup, and then 1 or 2 packages with other cups. But I always seem to have my 3 cups of coffee in the morning almost every day. Okay, what else do I need to tell you? Oh yeah, before we get started, follow-ups. I do everything I can to help you to get things done, but I'm running out of time, people. Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna set boundaries for when I can do follow-ups, and they're gonna have to be done then, or they won't be done at all. And if you notice on the website, it says they're free. They are. It's a free thing I want to do with you. It's like a checkup. After I crank you up, I can go to you and look, but I want to talk with you. I want you to talk with me. I want you to tell me about what you're feeling so I can help you understand it and help you grow and get stronger. I care about you, okay? We just recently had a gentleman call up, a real nice guy. I cranked him up January of 2014. Okay, I'm doing it. We never did his crank up. That's a long time ago. Okay, this pushing that we're working on 2 years here. No problem. I'm doing it. I want to do it. This is important. I had to do it by email because I have to fit it in with all this other stuff. Okay, my schedule's crazy. I'm doing everything I can, folks, for you. Okay, it's about you. It's about the animals, the plants. It's about everything. But this is the part I do for you, and there's other parts of Ara that are in animal bodies, and they're doing things relative to animals. This is a big thing. This is what 2012 was supposed to be, but it couldn't be because the original male and female, the original first being male and female, were causing other problems. The war had to happen. The war's over. They lost. You won. Now, let's get down to these awesome brains that Guy has given us, okay? This is just the basic flow of things. I want to ask you, if you can, go to the library or buy the book. It's better if you can afford it, buy it. But I know what it's like with the money issue. Okay, I really do. Please remember, 4 years ago, I was begging for food. So I understand what it's like, okay? And a lot of people say, you shouldn't say this. I don't care. The one thing you all know about me is I'm just flat out open. There I am. What it is, it is. It's no big deal. I'm no better than nothing else, and nothing else is any better than me. We're a family. We can do things better than each other, but in creation's eyes, in the big game, no one's any better than anyone else. Sorry. A lot of you think you are. A lot of you have been made to think you are. It's like a process done to you, especially over the, not just as spirit too, is over these many lives. It was done by the original first being. We have a lot of work to do as a family, but we have an awesome family. Anyway, sorry. Here we go back. Okay. Give me a shot of coffee. Sniffling and everything. Doing the wake up stuff. Okay. We have our core energy going up and down through the body. I'm going to explain a little more than the brain, but this is how everything functions, okay? The core energy goes up and down the body. It's almost like a double vortex where it goes in and out of itself, but it's a little bit different because in your core energy, the way it moves, it's very, not the same, but it's very similar to the energy flow in the first dimension. In the first dimension, energy flows in and out of itself. If you try to look at it with a conscious mind, you literally will go nuts, okay? Yeah, maybe that's what happened to me. It's too much time staring at it. Anyway, as the core energy, it goes up just, right to the crown and then goes down again. I mean, that's how it basically flows. Now, while and it goes down to your base chakra, okay, where the spine hits the pelvic bone. It goes just below that, okay? Now, you can think of it like a stream, okay, or actually like a river that's flowing through your body, okay, and it's a pretty deep river. It's strong. Now, when I go into you and crank you up, this free energy work that I do, I go in there and I fill up that river to the point where it's flowing over the banks, okay? In a very simple way, you can think of your core energy, the way the energy flows through the body, somewhat similar to a river. A river flows up and down, and then also, as the water's moving down the river and by, some of it's seeping out into the banks. And that's why, flora, the plants and everything grow really good near a river, unless it's polluted. It's because that water flows right there. And then if you look inside the river, there's different parts where there's rocks and stuff. You'll see little eddies. Okay, this is very similar to water flow. Water's a big part of our lives, but for more reasons than you can think. And I don't have time to explain all that. I'm sorry. But you can get the basic gist of what I'm saying. So as you flow, as your energy flows up and down your body, okay, going in and out, it's the water's, the energy is coming out to your side, just like the water flows over the banks. The energy is flowing through you, and you do have some focal points of energy. You have the head, you have the heart, you have the solar plexus, the gut, and then you have the sacral lower. And then there's the base chakra. These are the basic. There's all kinds of little chakras. People say, "Oh, there's 33 or something." Actually, there's basically about 7 chakra that are more important than the others as far as their function. But what we're going to do today is just talk about some of the basic ones. Okay. So anyway, the solar plexus is very strong. When the human bodies were the Adamic race, when we made the bodies, we literally closed up right where the solar plexus is. All the material from the planet comes in and it settles right here by the solar plexus, and then it solidifies. When I went back and watched myself do it as the red atom, Sylvia Brown called it a veil. Actually, it's part of the outer part of your energy field that's around you while you're making a body. It's like a soft energy shell. And then you make your body within it, and then once you do that, then the shell just comes right in, and it's like touching on your skin. It just blends in with the rest of you. Now, that's how it originally starts. Anyway, if you read the first book of creation, wherever the heck it is, whatever, it's up there somewhere. Creation, its beginning and your origin. It tells you about that stuff. Okay. Anyway, I did a video to tell something. The book puts everything together, plus the book is stuff you're not going to find anywhere. I haven't talked about it except in a book. And it ought to be like that. If you're paying money for something, there ought to be something extra in there that you don't get somewhere else. But you all know I'm giving you all the information I can, just like this. What you're going to get here is so informative. Okay, this is something that you'll be using year after year after year, teaching your kids teaching their kids teaching their kids. Okay, this stuff that I'm giving you, folks, this is important stuff. Okay, don't worry about me. I'm not important. It's not important. It was me that gave it to you. It's important that I give it to you. Okay, this is yours. This is what you should have had a long time ago. This is what some races on some other planets have known for so long. Well, it's about the same thing. It's a little different with them. But anyway, they've always practiced waking up and everything, and trying to understand what part of the body does, what part of the brain does this, what part of the brain does that. But it's time that we had it here. Let me tell you something about us Earthlings, okay? We have all these planets coming here for many different reasons. They originally came here years and years and years ago to check out the flora that we had. It's very interesting, very neat. And there are a lot of wonderful beings, like y'all that I talk to. Y'all are awesome, okay? Now, there's also some awesome family, people, beings from other planets. Some of them way far away, okay? They're awesome. People, we're all family. We've all had lives in all these different bodies everywhere. When you can connect with some of that and see some of the stuff you go into, when you learn how to flow, and I promise I'm doing everything I can to get the meditation DVD out. And it's going to be a bunch of them, because I'm going to put a bunch of different, I'm going to give you an option of a few different ways to meditate. And I guess maybe 5, 7 or something. Different ways. So if your core orientation is solar plexus or heart or pineal or a different combination, you can find something, hopefully, that will work with you. Excuse me. It's important. I do everything I can to help you wake up while I'm still in the body. Okay? I can do a lot more way out of the body, but I'll be involved doing a lot of stuff everywhere. When you're not in your body, you're huge. You're all over the place at one time. Not everywhere, but you're, compared to where you are in the body, you're everywhere. Okay, it's like I say, a lot of you that I'm working with are strong energy, much stronger than you think, and there's so many of you that are here. You're so strong that when your body's in the middle of the U.S., your energy's literally flowing over both oceans, the Atlantic and Pacific. That's how big your auras are, your energy field that comes out of you. So anyway, after getting your core filled up so it starts flowing over, then I go into your brain, and then I literally start working on different parts. If I don't fill up your core first, your core is the biggest part of you. It's going to naturally pull this energy that I put into your body right into it, and it takes away from what I'm doing. I found that out immediately when I started doing this stuff. So I fill up the core so the river's full and it's already overflowing a little bit. So that way there's a push coming out into everything. Then I usually go into RNA and DNA and I work on that. Sometimes it takes a while. It's usually hard to feel. Then I go ahead and, depending on the person, sometimes the first thing I'll do is go to a different part of your brain and needs to work. Sometimes I've seen your pineal glands. I got to go in there and do some work, pull and clear it off. I'll use orange calcite, citrine, some other things. Those are the frequencies that are in those stones. That's what I use when I'm in your body, and you can, as I go like this and everything, 9 times out of 10 you can feel me in there actually doing stuff. I'm literally decalcifying your stuff in your brain. Okay, sorry I don't have this actually happening on video, whatever, some kind of special equipment. Folks, I don't have it. I have no money. I mean, that's obvious. Before I leave, I'm going to leave you pictures of my house. You will know the truth. You will know how I live. Okay, it's important for people to know that to awaken, you don't have to have money, you don't have to be a strong, person, physically strong person, but it helps. The stronger you are physically, the stronger it'll help your abilities be. But you don't have to be, big and powerful, and you don't have to be any kind of genius. Okay, the more intelligent someone is, it can be harder for them to calm down and relax. Okay, that's where the meditation stuff comes in, and it's just relaxation. Is all it is. Relaxation and condensed thought, compressed thought. You make the thought, but then you release it, and that's where it comes. But anyway, we'll go there later. You don't have to be any of these things. You can be a tired old man in overalls. It's just coming into yourself to flow. Okay, now, and when I crank you up, I always, people will tell you most of the time. I'll tell you just to relax and try to feel what I'm doing. Take full breaths. Not like, I hear people sometimes, I'll tell them to stop. They literally sound like they're trying to suck in the clouds. I say, stop. You have to relax. I can feel your energy. I'm in your head. I'm in your brain looking. If that energy is all over the place, I'm going to make sure that's calm. Sometimes I got to say 2 or 3 extra jokes, and then I go in, and while we're in there, I just got a little message from a family member, says your jokes stink. We'll say stink, and he was laughing when he said it. Anyway, I'll go in your head, and then I calm it down a little bit. Okay. So anyway, once you're calm and relaxed, I ask you to try to feel it. As you reach and as you relax, and you're actually flowing inside yourself. It's like reaching into yourself, but you do it by just going into yourself. And as you feel anything different, these things are subtle, people. People don't bleed out of their ears and nose and stuff. Okay, this is subtle. Okay, but you do feel it. I always ask you to try to describe it, and most everyone goes, I don't know how to describe this. It's like there's pressure, all kinds of things, but when it starts getting wavy, and that's when I'm my smoothest, it's just kind of like, how do you express that? Is it normal? No. Have you ever felt it before? No. A lot of you, when I'm going to crank you up, I already go to you. I'll already be in your head a month and a half ahead of time, because I already know I'm going to get to you. Remember, it's aura. It's what's inside me. Okay, it ain't the can. It's what goes in the can. So anyway, but the actual crank up stuff, that's me. I have to be aware and know what I'm doing. But aura's a lot more than the party put in this body. Anyway, so as you're trying to feel that, then at the same time, you're putting your mind in the meditative state it needs to be in, so that you can awaken. And by you reaching in yourself, trying to feel your feelings, trying to feel a feeling that you're having, or some type of energy sensation, you are putting yourself in the exact perfect place in your mind to talk with spirit guides, to go to do whatever you need to do. And usually I'll tell you that. Lots of times I'll tell you that. I'm different with it, different people, folks. I got a video I'm waiting to get back from James. I couldn't hook stuff up. My cameras, I've got the Canon G20 cameras. These things are grand a pop. Okay, they're expensive. We've got 2 of them now. It's electronic, so it gets messed with. Sometimes in my videos, from one frame to another, you'll see something jerk like that. That's a brand new, expensive camera that's got a little issue. It's electronic, folks. It's being done to it to mess with it. Okay, you have no idea how much your lives have been messed with, but that is about to stop. Entirely no. 90-something%, yes. Anyway, they're after me more because they don't want this, especially the second book, the last book. They don't want it finished. They don't want everyone. There's stuff over there that really thinks it's going to have the chance to play God, and that's not going to happen. It's not about any one being. It's about everyone. There's no more of this supreme being BS. Good coffee. Okay, folks, back to your brains. So, we have the core energy filled up and overflowing. Then I'll go in, I start energy in the middle of your body, and I see your core, and I flex it out, usually below the heart chakra, between the heart and the solar plexus. And if I need to, I'll start in your brain, wherever I need to do. And this is after I've already done any individual work, decalcifying stuff, cleaning stuff in your head. And healing. Sometimes your brains have been damaged, and I have to go in and actually increase the size of it. Heal it, which increases the size of it and everything else. So anyway, go in there and go in your body and that is, I go like this with your energy, with being inside right here, and then I put that energy in, a source energy. I put it in, and I slowly pull it out until literally you are in a huge ball of source energy. And then while that's happening, I'm watching your DNA change. It grows, it glows. If you play golf and you make a little divot, makes a little hole in there, I see little things like that in your different DNA strands that start filling up, not completely, but filling up. It fixes little DNA imperfections you have. It's just happening. Whatever, it'll be what it is. It doesn't mean your physiology totally changes, but it always does make you stronger. And it does, when I see your DNA when I'm done, it's bigger, thicker, stronger, it's healthier. Okay, it's like if someone's not eating good at all, you can see how the week. To sneeze or not to sneeze? No. Okay, that's enough of that. Sorry, I had something messing with me, trying to make me sneeze. So we get to when someone eats really well, they get stronger. That's how I see your DNA strands. They grow thicker, healthier, and stronger. That way they can move more energy through them. This is an important part of you being able to use your own energy, your own spirit more, is by being able to flow more energy. As your DNA strands actually start growing, getting bigger, and your DNA starts evolving, it gets big and it gets real strong. Your synapses, it'll when you're healthy, and the older we are, the harder it is for us to to actually turn around and make super changes. It's a lot easier when we're younger. It's just like it's a normal human body fact, okay, or any other type of humanoid fact. But the strands start getting bigger. You start flowing about your synapses going from one brain cell to the other will be 3 to 4 times as strong as it was beforehand. This does not happen immediately. This happens over a period of maybe up to 3-4 months. And then your brain cells immediately, they just start growing. There's more of them, and they start growing much bigger. Okay? They get much bigger. So that's something you all can look at sometime under a microscope, whatever. The thing is, I do what I do. Okay? If there's too much hoopla, then somebody tries to make it about me, and it's not. It's about everybody, everything. It's about creation becoming what it's supposed to be, what it actually is, what it should have been allowed to be originally, which is a family. Okay, now, back to your brain, excuse me. So after I work on RNA and DNA, all the smaller parts of your DNA, then I go in, and then I'll start working on the hypothalamus. Now, the hypothalamus is kind of centrally located on the brain stem, going up in the brain. That's where understanding happens. Okay, that's major core understanding. Now what I'm telling you is energy. They might be attached physically. I could look at it. I don't care. Okay, I'm telling you how things happen, energy, because that's what I follow. The hypothalamus is like a control point, a center point. Okay, the hypothalamus energy is attached to the pineal. Okay, when you see something third dimension, multiple dimensions, you see third dimension, that's right in front of you. You see second dimension, you'll never see first. No one's allowed in there. But you see other dimensions, whatever, mostly on the second dimension. As you see with the pineal, that energy information goes into the hypothalamus to help you with understanding. And then, because where the brainstem is, the pineal gland is actually in the back of the brainstem. And then on the front of the stem is the pituitary gland, which its energy is like a helmet that goes on the body, but the main focus of it goes from the front part of the brainstem to the back of your head, and it's like a satellite that goes in there. So anyway, so the hypothalamus is the main control point, and then it gets information from the scanner. The scanner's energy field that's right here. There's different parts of your brain that work with it. Then I don't ever go there. There's some things I don't touch, and I do it for a reason, and it's for things that are messing with people's brains, experimenting that don't need to be. Anyway, that information goes to the hypothalamus. Okay. That's your remote viewing. This is your ability to sense stuff. ESP, extrasensory perception. This is the strongest tool you have right here is a scanner. Okay, now there's a crown. There's actually 3 major crown fields in your head. Okay, the hypothalamus is right here on the brainstem. Then there's an energy field right above it. It's like there was a blanket here, and the blanket picked up a little bit. This is the lower crown. Okay, it's like a blanket like this. Energy between the lower crown and the hypothalamus, the energy goes back and forth. The energy flows back and forth. In doing so, it's receiving and giving off information. Okay, it's an information flow between the lower crown and the hypothalamus. Understanding, receiving information, throwing back understanding. Okay, and it's just energy flowing in between the two of them. And then above the lower crown is the middle crown. If you were to take like a magnifying glass, put it on top of your head, and it sank down to about the top of your ears, inside lens inside your head, skull. That's where the energy focuses for your middle crown. And then the upper crown's up here. It opens up like this. Information and spirit. I'm sorry, energy. Sometimes spirit. You don't really need that, but lots of times you feel pressure in your head when I go in. That's me working on your head. But information, knowledge stuff comes right in here, into the upper crown, and then it gets slightly funneled like this, and then it gets put on the middle crown, which is like a lens, which focuses the information and puts it on top of the lower crown, which is floating right above the hypothalamus, and then that energy, that knowledge, that data, goes into the hypothalamus, and the hypothalamus turns it into understanding, and collections of understanding, it becomes wisdom. Understanding is wisdom, but wisdom is often many different understandings, understanding many different things. Now, so the pineal's attached to the hypothalamus, scanner information goes into the hypothalamus, all kinds of energy, knowledge and stuff, its data comes in through the crown, goes into the hypothalamus, and then it goes through the body. The hypothalamus is in the brain. It attaches to all the other chakras too. The pituitary gland, okay, it's in the front part of the brainstem, and it's in the back. It strives real hard to put high definition clarity on what the hypothalamus gland is trying to understand. Okay, it helps you see better. Your remote viewing through here, your multidimensional seeing through your pineal gland, it helps you there. Let's see, and that's basically it. And the energy that I put through you at the end to keep head discomfort and stuff away, I literally get underneath you and use male unicorn energy and just pump it right through you. Sometimes it feels like bubbles and stuff. Sometimes it feels like a soft wave. Sometimes it makes people giggle. Sometimes, and people, the more solar plexus oriented you are, the less you're going to feel. I can't help that. Okay, it's not that you're not a feeling person. It's just that that's not how your body works. It's your frequencies. Okay. A long time ago, someone who was solar plexus, when I first started doing this, and I mean years ago, I cranked him up and he couldn't really feel it. He said, I can't feel it. So I tried to crank more and more, and I was being told inside, stop. And finally, Ara just kicked me out. Said, that's enough. Any more than that, you're going to hurt him. And then he couldn't feel it. Next thing you know, a couple days later, actually 24 hours later, I had to go back in his head because he had a headache from the growth, and everything was really strong. Okay, but it was giving him a headache, so I had to go in and I had to fix that. And of course, I felt like hell. My intention is always to do the best I can, but remember too, folks, nothing's perfect. Everything screws up. In and out of body doesn't matter. Anyway, I got to get back to the books. Love you all, man. I hope I'm doing everything I can for you. I don't, I'm in a human body, man. I'm like y'all. I can only do so much. Y'all have no idea the stuff I go through every day just to do what little I can. But anyway, it's important for you to know how the brain works. Okay, if you study the brain, and you can read in the book, it says this part of the brain does this, that part of the brain does that. Fine, take that and see if it relates to what I do as far as energy work. Okay, but what I'm telling you is a fact. That's what I do when I go in your heads, and I'm the only thing anywhere that can do this. It's not like AJ at all, but I'm telling you, if I'm the only one that can actually do this, I know what I'm talking about. Okay, and my record, yeah, it's like every time I go in there, your brain evolves. Period. Okay, if you're really negative, or if some people have started to get arrogant, then that energy, it's not spirit. It's not sentient energy, it's energy, but that energy be made by Ara on the outside. We'll take that energy and literally push it down into your core so it can't go anywhere. And then you calm down, and then more of it comes right back out again. Remember, arrogance is not a good thing, but it's also a normal part of waking up. When you get to the point you start getting your strong, you say, wow, this is cool. You get excited. And then plus, a lot of you have been pushed to be made arrogant. You know, there's all kinds of stuff going on that you're not aware of. It's abuse. It's the way things have always been done on the other side, running your lives. As Greeks, we used to say, this body's got Greek DNA in it, German and Germanic, more than anything else. And we always used to say that the gods are petty, because they always wanted this praise and they would never give us, you know, what we should really have. That's true. That's very true. But see, that's over. And these physical bodies are eventually leaving. Again, I am leaving you a wealth of information in these 2 books. The second book, like I said, I'm still working on it. That will give you everything you need, as long as, especially with this other information from these YouTube videos, where you can take it and learn, open yourself up. It's like if you think of a simple can of food, or if you think of a simple can with something inside it. Once you have the information, the can just melts into part of you, and you literally just open up and become who you are. Hey, what about the lotus flower? Okay, the way it opens up, and once you're awake, folks, it doesn't go away. It does not go away. Once you open yourself up and become yourself, you settle down inside. It helps you calm down, relax, and you're just awake. You're aware. The stronger you are, the easier that is, and the stronger you are. The more you do it, the stronger you'll get. Getting cranked up, you know, the intensive and consults with that energy and free energy enhancement. Yeah, I'm making some powerhouses, but that's part of my job. Okay, a lot of you are so strong now. I'm so happy. Not like yay Jay, but like yay you. You rock. I need to leave a lot of people here cranked up. Michelle is going to start doing consults soon. She's going to scream if she ever listens to this video. It doesn't matter. I've already told her. She's shy about talking with people, about being put in front of people. But she's, you know, when she's talking with you, you can easily feel Michelle's heart. She's precious. And she's strong. She's very soft and very loving, but piss her off and you got a problem. She was Sekhmet from Egypt, not a god, not a goddess, excuse me, but just a person had really strong abilities, and she was a queen. So many of you have had so many lives as kings, queens, and you know, we've all had to have different experiences. Anyway, time to get my second cup of coffee. Like I said earlier, love y'all, man. Please take a couple of minutes and think about this information and just see it happening in your head. Okay? And here's something right now. That's something soft for any of you that are ready. Remember, as spirit, we go through time and everything else. It doesn't matter. So what I just did has no placement in time or anything else. And please remember, Arrow's all over the place. He's, you know, no better than nothing else, but he's the strongest thing out there. It's good to have a strong janitor. So anyway, again, love you all, man. Take care. Have a good one.